Tracing objects from the surrounding.
Hello friends, I am Mr. Hand. Friends, do you like listening to stories? Yes? So listen carefully. There was a rabbit. He had grown very good carrots in his farm. One day, he went to meet his king brother. But when he returned, all of the carrots from his farm were missing. When he saw this, he immediately called his friend, the clever fox. When the fox looked carefully at the farm, he found two types of traces of feet. Looking at those two traces of feet, the fox immediately told the rabbit,
Look, the deer and the horse came in your farm.
Hey, but how did you know that?
Just look carefully. These traces match the traces of deer's feet and these traces match the traces of horse's feet.
Oh, so these two have taken away all the carrots from my farm.
See friends, the fox identified who came to the rabbit's farm only by looking at the traces of the feet. Friends, we can also identify the objects in our surroundings by tracing them. So, let's learn tracing objects from the surroundings with the help of Tall Man and Thumbkin. Hello, I am Thumbkin.
And I am Tall Man. Friends, today we will put the objects in our surroundings on the paper and trace them with a pencil.
And yes, we will also see which shape we would get after tracing those objects.
First of all, we will put this conical shaped birthday cap on a paper and trace it.
Look, the base of this birthday cap is circle. So, we will get a circle shape when we trace its base.
Now we will trace the dice.
Here, this dice's base is a square. So, we will get square shape when we put it on paper and trace it.
Now let's see that which shape would we get when we trace this pyramid-shaped toy.
The base of this toy is a triangle. So, we will get triangle shape when we trace it.
Friends, can you all guess which shape would we get when we trace this pencil box?
Let us trace this pencil box too.
The base of pencil box is rectangle, so we will get rectangle shape when we put it on paper and trace it.
Now tell me, which shape would we get when we trace this mirror?
The base of this mirror is oval, so we will get oval shape when we put it on paper and trace it.
So, today we traced the objects in our surroundings and got the shapes like circle, square, triangle, rectangle and oval.
Yes, so friends, remember that when we trace any object, we will get the shape according to its base.
We will meet again in the next video. Bye.
Hello friends, when we trace any object, we will get the shape similar to its base. So, today we learned tracing objects from the surroundings. In the next video, we will trace some more objects from surroundings and understand the shapes when we trace those objects. Friends, in the last video, after watching the story of the rabbit and the fox, we learned to identify the traced feet and also learned how to trace objects from surroundings. In this video, along with Thumbkin and Tallman, we will understand the shapes we get when we trace the objects from the surroundings.
Friends, did you practice tracing of objects?
Yes. So now tell me, which shape would we get when we trace these solid-shaped blocks?
First of all, we will keep hexagon pyramid on a paper and trace it.
The base of this hexagon pyramid is hexagon. Friends, you know what? When we trace any object, the shape we get will be the same as the base.
Yes, so when we will keep this hexagon pyramid on paper and trace it, we will get the hexagon shape.
Now we will trace the square pyramid.
Here, the base of the square pyramid is square.
Yes, we will get square shape when we will trace this pyramid.
Look, this is a cylindrical shape.
The base of a cylinder shape is a circle. So we will get a circle shape when we trace the cylinder shape.
Yes, so when we trace these solid shapes, we will get the shapes hexagon, square and circle according to their bases.
Now let's look at another example.
Look, which shapes would we get if we will put this bowl and glass straight and upside down and then trace them?
If we keep the bowl and glass straight like this, their base is a circle.
Yes, so if we keep the bowl and glass upward and trace them, then we will get the circle shape.
Now, if we will keep the bowl and the glass upside down like this, then
the base of the bowl is square and the base of the glass is a circle.
if we keep the bowl facing downward and trace it, then we will get the square shape. And if we keep the glass facing downward and trace it, then we will get the circle shape.
You are right. So if we keep the bowl straight and trace it, then we will get a circle shape. And if we keep it upside down and trace it, then we will get a square shape.
And if we keep the glass straight and trace it, then we will get a small circle shape. And if we keep it upside down and trace it, then we will get a bigger circle. Friends, in this video, we understood the shapes we get when we trace objects from our surroundings. In the next video, we will understand some interesting facts relating to tracing with the help of Thumbkin and Tallman. Friends, in the last video, you understood the shapes we get when we trace objects from the surroundings. Today, we will understand some interesting facts related to tracing objects. Hey, Tallman, look, this is cube-shaped toy. And this is cuboid-shaped toy. Now tell me, which shape would we get when we trace these cube and cuboid-shaped toys?
Let's keep these toys on a paper and trace them.
If we keep this cube toy on paper and trace it, then we will get a square shape like this. And if we keep this cuboid toy on paper and trace it, then also we will get a square shape like this.
Oh, but why do we get the square shape when we trace both these toys?
Because The base of these two toys are square. And we have traced both the toys with their base.
Yes, I understood.
Let's now change their base and keep both the toys like this. Now tell me, which shape would we get when we will trace these two toys?
If we keep this cube toy on paper and trace it, then we will get the square shape like this. And if we keep this cuboid toy on paper and trace it, then we will get the big square shape like this.
Oh, Tallman, we will get the square shape if we will trace this square toy. But when we trace this cuboid toy, we do not get a big square shape, but we get a rectangle shape.
Hey, but how will we identify this square and rectangle shape?
Look carefully. The measurements of the sides are the same in this shape. So, this is a square.
And in a rectangle shape?
This is a rectangle shape. In a rectangle, the measurements of the opposite sides are the same.
Yes, now I understand it very well that the shape we get when we trace the cuboid is not a big square, but it is a rectangle.
Yes, so Tallman, remember that if we will keep the cube-shaped toy in any way and trace it, then we will always get the square shape. And if we will trace the cuboid shape, then we will always get either a square or a rectangle shape. Yes, so friends, today in this video, we learned some interesting facts related to the cube and cuboid-shaped objects from our surroundings. Friends, now you will be able to identify the square and rectangle very well, right? Yes, very good. Friends, in the next video, we will learn to identify different shapes we will get when we trace the objects from our surroundings.
Tracing and identifying shapes. How are you, friends? I'm very well. Do you remember that we learned tracing of objects from our surroundings in the previous video? Today, in this video, we will learn identifying different shapes, tracing the shapes, and drawing pictures using shapes. Hello, I am Thumbkin. And I am Pointer. Friends, look, we have a clock with blocks of different shapes, which will help us in identifying shapes. Here, the circle is first in order. The oval is second in order. This shape is like an elongated circle. It is also called ellipse. The triangle is third in order. A triangle has 3 sides. The square is fourth in order. The length of all its 4 sides are the same. The 5-sided pentagon is fifth in order. The 6-sided hexagon is 6th in order. The 4-sided quadrilateral is 7th in order. The 4-sided rhombus is 8th in order. And the rectangle is ninth in order here. Its opposite sides have the same length. The heart is 10th in order. The star is 11th in order. And the plus symbol is 12th in order. Friends, now let's trace some of these shapes and draw a picture. First of all, we will trace the square shaped block and draw 1, 2, 3 squares. Let's now trace the ellipse. 1 and 1, 2 ellipses. Now we will draw a hexagon shape by tracing the hexagon block under these 2 ellipses. Yes, now we will trace this triangle block and draw 2 triangles like this. Now we will take the quadrilateral block and place it like this and then trace it, and we will draw 2 quadrilaterals. Now look at these blocks. This is a circle, this is a pentagon, and this is a rhombus. Now we will place these blocks in the 3 traced squares shapes and trace them. Oh wow! This is a picture of rocket. If we want to show this rocket flying in the sky, then which shape would we have to trace from these? To show the rocket flying in the sky, we would have to trace the star-shaped block. Yes, so now we will trace the star-shaped blocks and draw 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 stars. Mr. Pointer, if we fill the colors in this drawing, then how would it look? If we fill the shapes we drew, it will look like this. Isn't it looking beautiful, Thumbkin? Oh wow! Friends, you can also draw some more pictures like this by tracing different shapes. Friends, today we learned to identify different shapes and draw pictures by tracing them. You can also trace the shapes and draw different pictures. In the next video, we will identify some more shapes and count them, and we will also color them. Hello friends, you remember that in the previous video we learned to identify the shapes, tracing shapes and drawing a picture by tracing them. Today, in this video, we will learn to count the shapes after identifying, filling colors in them and making a figure. Hello friends, look. This is a picture of a doll made using shapes. But why is this doll sad? Because the doll wants to know which shapes and how many shapes are used in his making. The square, the rectangle, triangle and circle are used to make this doll. Let's now tell him the number of these shapes used in his making. We can make him smile. Can you count the number of squares in this doll? There are 1, 2 and 3 squares used to make this doll. Can you count the number of rectangles in this doll? There are 1 and 2 rectangles in the doll. Let's now count the triangle. There are 1, 2 and 3 triangles in this doll. Let's now count the number of circles used. Yes, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 circles used here. We got to know that there are 3 squares, 2 rectangles, 3 triangles and 8 circles used in the making of the stall. But why he is not smiling? Let's fill it with colors. Look, Thumbkin, it is smiling after we filled it with colors. Friends, let's see the second example now. Look, this is a figure made by tracing square, rectangle, circle and triangle shapes. Let's fill this figure with colors. First of all, we will fill all the triangles with yellow color. Look, can you see this? Now, we will fill in all the circle with red color. Look, there are several square shapes in this figure. We will fill in the square shapes with pink color. Thumbkin, is there any shape yet to be filled with colors? The rectangle shape. You are right. Now we will fill the rectangle shapes with sky blue color. Yes, look, Pointer. We have filled the triangles with yellow, the circles with red color, the squares with pink, and the rectangles with sky blue color. Friends, we learned to count the shapes after identifying, filling colors in them and making a figure. In the next video, we will learn how to make figures using shapes in an interesting way. Friends, we have learned to identify and trace shapes. Today, in an interesting way, we will learn to make figures using these shapes. Look, friends, this is a 10-gram. There are a total of 7 shapes in it. This 10-gram is made of 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 triangle shapes, 1 square shape and 1 quadrilateral. Today we will create figures of horse, rabbit, cat, swan and fish using these shapes. Look, this is a horse. Now we will make a horse using 5 triangles, 1 square and 1 quadrilateral. See, the horse is ready. This is a rabbit. Now we will try to create a rabbit using 4 triangles, 1 square and 1 more triangle and 1 quadrilateral. See, rabbit is ready. This is a cat. So let's make a cat using 3 triangles, 1 quadrilateral, 1 square and the remaining 2 triangles. See, cat is ready. This is a swan. Now we will make a swan using 4 triangles, 1 square, 1 quadrilateral and 1 triangle. Swan is also ready. This is really interesting. This is a fish. Let's try and create a fish using 2 triangles, 1 quadrilateral and 1 triangle, 2 more triangles and 1 square. And we have created a fish. We have finally created a horse, rabbit, cat, swan and a fish using the 7 shapes of the 10-gram. Friends, today we learned to make figures using shapes of a 10-gram in an interesting way. In the next video, we will know about lines and their different types.